Well, I won't impose on you much longer, but I'd like to discuss the gun, specifically your gun.
We keep it in the desk drawer in the den.
Not in open sight?
In the drawer.
Right, well, when was the last time you recall seeing it?
I can obviate that question if I may.
Go ahead.
We haven't seen the gun since Scotty visited Mrs. Quartermaine.
Alan, is that your recollection?
Definitely.
I'll save you the trouble. It's mine, too.
Right, you said the gun was kept in a drawer. Now, if that drawer was open, is the gun in plain sight?
Oh, yes, definitely. Handy at all times.
Thank you. It tells me a lot. Well, you've all been very helpful. As a matter of fact, I won't bother you any further at this particular stage, but I may need to ask you more questions later on.
We're at your service, Robert.
Yes, I knew I could count on the Quartermaines. Please, don't bother. I'll find my own way out.
Alan, will you pour me a brandy? Make it a double. I can't stand much more of this.
Drinking isn't going to make the problem go away, Father.
I don't plan to get drunk.
He'll be back. We can count on that.
Oh, I know it.
Then I suggest we do some serious planning. I mean, so far, we have been lucky.
I fail to see that.
Because we have managed, Alan, to tell him a lot of things, and we've gotten away with it so far. But believe me, our luck isn't not going to last.
Yes, it will, Monica. We will keep getting away with it because we were convincing, and we will keep doing that.
Oh, come on, Alan. Will you try to see beyond the end of your nose? Monica's quite right. Scorpio will definitely be back. And before that happens, we have to have a better story.
I don't think he will be back. I think he was perfectly satisfied.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, darling, because any minute he is going to blurt out, someone is going to blurt out the word blackmail.
Yes, and when that happens, Cousin Herbert is going to learn the truth. And when he does, ho, ho, Lord help us all.
Keep your voice down.
I know.
How'd you get in?
I told him it was urgent, that it was a matter of life and death. And it is.
What happened?
It's Susan's note.
Well, what about her note?
It's gone, Scotty. It's not anywhere in my room.
The note is what?
It's missing.
Heather, this is your idea of a joke.
No, of course I'm not joking. You'd think I'd joke about a thing like this. I'm frantic. I turned my whole room upside down. It's just not there.
All right, where exactly was it?
In my jewelry box. I'm sure of it.
Okay. All right, let's not panic.
Panic? You kidding me? I'm going out of my mind.
All right, what about the police? Do you think they might have searched your room and found it?
Of course not, Scotty. I would have heard something about it.
Okay, well, maybe you put it someplace else. I mean, maybe you put it in a drawer, or you pressed it between two books or something like that.
Scotty, I put it in my jewelry box, and it's gone.
Do you realize that this incriminates both of us?
Of course I do. Wait a minute. What about Jackie?
What about her?
Well, she's a reporter, isn't she? She was probably snooping around my room, and she found it. Yeah. What's the first thing they teach reporters? How to snoop and pry into people's lives?
Maybe you're right.
That's it. It's Jackie. I'm sure of it.
All right, listen, what you gotta do is you gotta find Jackie. You gotta find out if she's got the note. And if she's got it, you've gotta get it from her. I don't care what you do, just get it and destroy the damn thing.
You know, I think I've come up with a perfect story to explain why we were at Susan's that night of the murder. Now, this story is very close to the truth, but just different enough that Cousin Herbert isn't going to start snooping, and I hardly need remind you that is vital.
Oh, yes, we know that.
We'll say that before our marriage, Lila had an affair.
What?
We will hint just ever so slightly that the affair was rather sordid and the results tragic.
Results? What results?
Well, she had an affair with a married man, and the wife committed suicide.
That's outrageous.
Well, of course it's outrageous. That's what makes it so totally believable.
You know, Edward, so far, I like it. I like it very much, except where does Susan come in?
Well, that's what I was just about to tell you. We'll say that Susan found out about the affair and the suicide, and she threatened to expose Lila and create a great scandal. Naturally, we couldn't have that.
Naturally.
So we went along to Susan's because we were willing to pay her to keep her mouth shut.
From that remark, I gather you're kind of warming up to the idea, huh?
Well, I am, but I don't want to see Mother get hurt.
Nonsense. In a crisis like this, she's going to, cooperate just the same as the rest of us.
Well, the part I like best is that suggests that Susan was threatening blackmail.
Yeah.
And I think Robert Scorpio will buy that.
Well, we're going to make sure that he buys it because we will be absolutely convincing.
Now, of course, we're going to have to give this man a name. Let's see, of course, we can't call him Crane Tolliver. That's obvious. So, Arthur Chesler. Yes, Arthur Chesler. That'll be the man's name.
Excuse me.
We're busy, Stella.
I know, sir, but Mrs. Alice Grant is here and she insists upon seeing you.
We'll get rid of her.
Oh, wait a minute. This may be very opportune. I'm sure that Mrs. Grant must know about Susan's attempt to blackmail us. Might not be a bad idea to try our idea out on her first, right? Agreed?
No time like the present.
Brilliant thought, Monica.
Sure, and so.
Yes, sir, and Dr. Quartermaine, the pathology department, is on the phone for you.
Oh, fine, thank you. I'm going to take it. I'm expecting some results.